9:15. Good morning. Perfect. Thank you for confirming. Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. Um, there's the disclaimer I have on screen every morning. And let's make this a little bit bigger. This is what I'm looking at. So there's disclaimer. And here's what we're looking at. So what size was that? 125. Okay, so I'll remember that. So for Wednesday, February 25th, things we're looking at or things that I look at in the morning. Stock futures are pointing higher. Finally, we're having NVDA earnings after market close. NVIDIA's results could possibly be important for the AI trend continuation, or do we pull back? I think a lot of people are looking at this. And another thing I was looking at was the Trump State of the Union, where generally there was not an incredible amount of information that could sway the markets. But he was talking about the strong economy. As far as the economic calendar, personally, I do not see anything that would affect my setups. So I don't have any alerts at 10 a.m. or anything like that. As far as earnings, before market open, I didn't see anything too important. But after market close, obviously there's NVIDIA and Salesforce, which could be interesting earnings to watch. I will be watching them, and I sometimes take a trade on them. I do have a strategy for those, but it's pretty rare. Higher time frame bias. So let's look at TradingView. Okay. So Apple, I'm on the 30-minute. So yesterday we had this massive push up on the 30-minute yesterday, made it very difficult to take a trade in this. Even on the 5-minute, there's no pullback, right? There's a little bit of a pullback on this candle here. This is a trendy kangaroo tail, very, very strong candle. However, now that it's, from yesterday, went from 267.84 to 272 and change. With the ATR the way it is, I did not think that it was going to the moon. So this was not a setup for me yesterday. And as far as today, there's after a massive move like that, I am interested to see what it's going to do at this level. This was a level of possible resistance that we just blew past. It is the area of breaking and then possibly retesting. Actually, I have an alert way down here, which is no longer necessary. So I will move it to see what would happen when and if Apple pulls back into this area. Will we bounce and then continue? Would it be a higher time frame break and retest? So that's all I'm looking at for Apple. AMD, massive candle, 30-minute candle yesterday, pre-market on news of a partnership with Meta, which made it untradable for me yesterday and makes it untradable for me today because there is no room to the left here. And NVIDIA's earnings are absolutely, well, as far as I'm concerned, again, absolutely could have an impact on AMD after market close. So AMD is not in the cards for me today. Amazon, I have an alert set already. It punched up yesterday, pulled back. This was a nice break and retest on the 30-minute time frame yesterday. The reason I have an alert here at the top is that it is very close to yesterday's high where it rejected from. Let's zoom into this. Right, so we rejected here yesterday, punched up and then rejected and then made new lows. So how will it react to this level again today? That's why I have an alert here. As far as when and if the alert goes off, and it'll probably happen right at the open. So I set this up early, very early this morning. I'm not necessarily going to get involved right away because there is liquidity on this side. Just a few days ago, this was Monday or last Friday. So I will pay attention to it if it makes it up here. So possibility with room to the left, possibility of it going either way. Google. I will talk about the trade that I talked about during the session yesterday. I said it was setting up for a double bottom, and it did, and it worked. So I'll talk about this during the open session. As far as Google is concerned today, there's a little bit of room to the left here, but it is very strong. As far as room to the left, I mean above pre-market high. But it was in an area of chop. So as far as Google is concerned today, again, not very interested for my setups, for what I like to look at. Meta. I have an alert set at the bottom here. It was a strong area of buying at this level. Again here yesterday. Could it come down here again? I had this, I put this alert in yesterday, I think, after these candles printed. I put in a nice double bottom, not according to my rules. I could not take it. So that's why I've got an alert here. I'm not sure it's gonna hit today. As far as room to the left, if we look at the pre-market high, which is right here, we are above. There we go. We are above yesterday's high. So we've already taken out these stops here. So, I mean, will it reverse from where it is right now? I don't know. As far as room to the left, there's some room, but we were here just the previous day, and this is where we were going down. So I don't know. It'll have to be game day decision on Meta, which I don't trade very often. Microsoft put in this huge wiki candle yesterday, a lot of indecision. It has been going down on the higher time frame. We have been making new lows. It seems like a possible bottom has been put in, but hey, who knows? I don't make predictions. I just follow what the chart tells me. Going back to the 30-minute, as far as I'm concerned here, there's nothing for me to trade. As far as room to the left, we have this massive candle here. It could reject from these highs. So if it goes up above here and I see a lot of selling, it could be shorts from this area, and this massive, this long rectangle could be an area of resistance. So that's where my thought process is going. NVIDIA is off the books for me today. There's room to the left, but with earnings coming in after hours, earnings are after market close here. Who knows what's going to happen with this this stock today? So personally, according to my rules, I don't like trading it because it's announcing earnings this afternoon. Tesla. Tesla's been very choppy, having trouble finding a decision or a direction. I mean, found what was a bounce, a break and retest from the close on Monday, came down and retested, and then it took off yesterday. And then on the 30-minute again, there's another break and retest, right? It broke, came back down, retested here, put in this 30-minute bullish candle. Entry here for people that trade the higher time frame would have worked. Right. So, but from where it is right now, I'm not sure. I like the idea of sorry, I just saw something in the corner of my eye. Hopefully it'll tell me if somebody's on chat. But chat is not open right now, so please give me a second and bear with me. There's the chat. There you go. Good morning to those that said good morning. As far as room to the left for Tesla, there's definitely room to the left. Are we going to reject over here? But this is very choppy action here. There's not a very defined level in this area. So we'll see what the price action tells us. Qs is making new highs. I just had an alert at this level right here. It is above the resistance that we had difficulty with a few days ago. So last Wednesday, couldn't get above it. Last Friday, and then again yesterday, we rejected from this area. So this is an interesting area. There could still be resistance over top here. There is a 30-minute fair value gap here. I will look at what happens in the first half hour on Qs and SPY, because they are trading at similar levels. So I want to see what happens in the first 30 minutes. And with 4 minutes left, this is basically what I'm looking at. These levels are very interesting. I could see a rejection of this area here. However, considering we've taken out possible stops in pre-market, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in the first half hour. I do not plan on taking anything unless there's really strong signals after the first 5-10 minutes, either for a break and retest or the rejection with the kangaroo tail candle. So that's what I'm looking at for higher context levels, etc. During the live market, I do not trade the first 5 minutes. I do not trade pre-market. I do not take a lot of trades. I have very strict rules. We have to have room to the left. We have to show reaction at these levels. And we can't tell if it's reacting to those levels in the first couple minutes, as far as the way that I trade. And then I want to see, are we aligning with higher time frame bias, or are we rejecting from a prior zone of resistance or support? I said that I would look at Google as far as what worked and what didn't work. I said I did not take trades yesterday, but I did look at the Google double bottom. So let's bring it back up. Still a few minutes before the open. So Google, I look at this on the 5-minute time frame. There were a few reasons why I said I didn't want to take this trade. I don't remember exactly what I said, but in hindsight, it looks okay. One of the reasons was because of this massive 5-minute candle here. So let's replay. Let's replay and let's go back to this candle here, which it won't print right now, but I will right there. So this was the candle I was looking at. The fact that it was at S4 yesterday, that's a possible area of support. But it didn't have, I didn't like the idea that this was a big selling candle. But I put it on. I explained what I was looking at. On the 5-minute time frame, this was somewhat bullish. On the 1-minute time frame, if we go back down here, I wanted to see if there was a 1-minute fair value gap that printed, and there was, with these 3 candles here. So there's the 1-minute fair value gap. And then I want to see, does it retest this level on the 1 minute? So let's go right there. It did not retest the level, but the reason I put this here was because this is a very strong candle. The one that I have right here. Let's move this out of the way. This right here. That's a very strong bullish candle. On the break of this candle would be where I would go in. However, where do you put the stop? Well, there's a different, if you put it right, this is very aggressive for this stop. And you can tell we do not need to go very far. Below the level here is a little bit more conservative, and the market is open. For those of you who trade the first few minutes, good luck. And I will keep going here because I do not need to look at what's happening in the first 5 minutes. If I do put my stop more conservative here, and considering it's there, I may as well put it underneath the low of day. I need to bring this up to 3R right here. So obviously with a more conservative stop, it's a wider stop. I need 3 times this to go up here. So let's switch back to the 5-minute time frame, and we're going to see if with the higher stop here, the higher take profit, I don't know if it worked, but I know that with yes, it did right there. Right. So with the more conservative stop, it played out well. With the stop just below the 5-minute candle here, it turns into an 8R trade. But if we aim for 3R, it happened pretty quickly. Right. So there we go, around there. So that was what I was looking at during live trading yesterday, and we'll see what the market gives us today. So like I said, good luck to those of you who are trading the open. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask or share amongst yourselves too. Takes a little bit of the pressure off me having to say something.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Tarek.
How are you doing? Thank you very much for the very, very well structured, I must say, pre-market open.
Oh, great.
Please.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part there, Tarek.
No, I'm looking at the crude futures. It's at a very interesting level. This is a level that we always bounce from. But
the what futures? Sorry, what?
CL on the crude.
Yeah, I had them on screen yesterday. I can bring them back up. Don't know why this comes up all the time. Yeah, this is, if I were trading it with my system, and again, my system works with futures. I mean, it's naked trading or naked Forex was written for Forex. It works with equities, works with futures. So what I would be looking at here is the fact that there's liquidity down here. Right, there's definitely some stops down here. I don't know what the volume was like down here, but personally, if I were looking at this, I would like it to take out this liquidity down here, because it was there, room to the left. It was there, at 4 something this morning. Again, I don't trade futures. I don't trade crude oil yet. I want to see how it reacts to this level, right? Is that what you're looking at as far as an interesting level, like for the possible bounce or the possible rejection of that level?
Yes, exactly. This is the level, especially if we look at the 30 minutes chart, we'll see that it has been bouncing off this level multiple times in the last couple of days.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on 1 minute here. What time frame were you in?
30.
30 minute. Yeah, okay. Let me put it back on. Sorry, it's so dry. Those of you that are in, for those of you who are in Dubai or California, good for you, because where I am right now, it's incredibly cold and dry. So there we go. 30-minute time frame. There you go. Let's squeeze in a little bit here. So yeah, very interesting, right? Even if we go back a few days here, we've got this bullish fair value gap from last Thursday, retested it, came down, tested and wicked down here again. So there's possible support here. Again, this morning, there's some buyers in this area. Let me move this all the way over here. Right, that's the way I would look at this rectangle here. And let's be a little bit more precise. Let's just go right there. Right, so resistance here, punched out, came back, support here, support again, close to it again, and there it is again. So you're absolutely right. This is a very interesting area.
Yeah, this is something I'm looking at. Also, there's a lot of sellers on gold. I don't know if there's something going on with gold. I'm waiting for a pullback on the 5 minutes so I can get an entry.
Yeah.
But still, this part of the chart is there's a lot of price action on the left. I'm not really enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, as far as the candle is concerned, it's not printing a massive candle yet. I mean, if we look at the open from yesterday, just even looking at the size of the candles, right? From New York Open and New York Open right now, there might be selling right now, but as far as the candle is concerned, I mean, it's only 6 minutes in, and this is a 30-minute time frame. So interesting. There, as far as room to the left, we were just there in pre-market, right? So yeah. All of this, and there was buying, right? The fact that we wicked it down here and then went and closed higher here means that there was some buying at this level here. Is it because there's a 30-minute fair value gap here? Possibly. Right. So what's it? I don't know why this is. I know I can only have 10 with what I've got right now, but I don't know if it's reloading on my other computer or something. That might be it. Anyway, interesting on gold futures as well. You can move this out of the way. So after the first 5 minutes is when I want to start looking for possible trade ideas. My eyes went straight to a possible kangaroo tail on NVIDIA. It's not ideal. It did take out liquidity at the top. For it to be ideal, the body of it would have to be a little bit smaller, just so that the tail can be 2/3 of the candle. Right now, the tail is about half for the short, but there's yesterday's, whatever this is, yesterday's low, pre-market low, and PDC. So there's a lot of areas of possible support here, right? But there definitely seems to be some selling going on NVIDIA. Another possible KT forming on Tesla. Now I want to see what level is it at. So Tesla is above R4 right now. And it put in a very large 5-minute candle here. So are we actually rejecting at 420 and shorting from here? Possibly. Possibly. Was that level anything specific previously? Not really. It is Elon's favorite number. So maybe that's why it's rejecting. I'm going to bring the SPY puts on my screen just to see if it's actually rejecting this area. So the 691 puts, I'm going to see if there's a massive spike in them. If we break down below this candle here. So let's make this a little bit bigger. All right, is this really a rejection? Are we having trouble finding buyers up here? There's room to the left, right? As far as room to the left, there is a lot of room to the left. I am on the 5-minute time frame. I'm going to wait. It's not going to close red because there's only 2 seconds left. There you go. That 5-minute candle closed. I want to see, are we actually rejecting here? And by having the put contracts in front of me, I look at the volume and I look at the candle formation. I want to see if there's real selling. And oftentimes, you'll see the options contract moving a little bit quicker. See, they're selling right now. The puts are selling, which means we're buying on SPY. But the correlation between the options contracts and the actual underlying is often very interesting. I know these are a little bit hard to see because I've got a lot on the screen here. The signal, see, that is a kangaroo tail. I am going to bring Amazon. This is an interesting level on Amazon. There's room to the left. I am going to go to the 1 minute. We did come down. I'd be curious to see, can we get back up to 210.45 area? Can we get back around here and show rejection at this level? This is the kangaroo tail that I like to see. It's a long wick. There's tons of room to the left. It's right above 2 levels, pre-market high and yesterday's high. It shows that we wicked up there, took out a lot of stops, and then the body closes very near the bottom, pretty much at the bottom. Now, on the 1 minute time frame, it printed a 1 minute fair value gap. I want to see on the 1 minute, will it go and retest that fair value gap and then possibly print a bearish candle? There's not tons of room to PDC. Yeah, there's not a lot of room. So I am going to see if RVR would be worth it. We're seeing some selling on SPY. Now the options contracts moved a bit, but again, it's not a huge spike. It is at a level, SPY is at a level, especially if I do this and stretch it out a bit. It is at a level that could be seen as support, right? It's pre-market high. We had punched above it. So is this a breakout and a retest? Possibly. There's definitely, I see some buying coming in. And now the put contracts are coming down. I want to see if we make a new low on SPY. I just set an alert below this wick here on SPY. I'm still looking at Amazon. I don't know if anybody else is looking at something. See how this meta here put in also a kangaroo tail, but this is not one that I would take. for a few reasons. The body is not within the previous candle. This often happens with the first candle of the day, but it closed stronger, right? So it punched up, pulled back, but it still closed above the open. For me to see it as a rejection candle, it needs to close red and very near the bottom. So that's a no-go. Choppy action on Amazon. Possible break and retest on SPY. The fact that Qs is making new highs here. Now I'm going to look at the call contracts, the 691 calls on SPY. 91.41. Are we making new highs? Oh, retested. See, it made a new high, but it didn't punch up. Right? That's not as far as I'm concerned, that's not a good signal. So the high is 691.41. We made it up to 50. Usually, if there's a break up, if you think it's going to be strong, it not usually, but often happens quickly. So now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing the punch up. There it is. So a little bit of a break and retest happening on SPY. Qs did not give much of a retest. Strong Meta, strong Microsoft, NVDA, RVOL, still at 105%. By the way, SPY, one of the reasons I wasn't too interested in it, I like waiting the first half hour, that RVOL is only at 50%.
This is what I was just about to highlight. The move is on a very low, relatively low volume.
Yeah.
With the magnitude of this move, especially on Qs, it should be coming much heavier. I don't know what's the RVOL on the RVOL on the Qs, but
85, 86%. So that's a green light for me. Anything above 80, 85, I like to trade. But even on Amazon here, 44%, right? So it's not enough RVOL for me. You might think I have a lot of rules, but you know what? My rules take me out of trades. They take me, they make me picky. And I'd rather be picky and have higher probabilities. Right. So I don't like SPY being at 52%. And again, what I say is not a prediction. It's just what I've tested and what works for me. Right. It's punching out, but I don't know. I don't see much follow through. But then again, I haven't seen any follow through in weeks. I honestly think that we're waiting for NVIDIA. I think that the market wants to know what NVIDIA is doing. I need to step away. There's somebody at the door. I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's going to be one of those days where I need to leave the computer every once in a while. So Amazon is retesting the highs here. So on the 5-minute, it put in a rejection candle. And the 1-minute fair value gap has been closed on Amazon. But again, 45% RVOL is too low for me. And I had said it on Monday. I would likely not trade anything until Thursday. I want to see what the market does with the information it has. I mean, we're waiting for the State of the Union. We're waiting for NVDA. So as far as my larger size trades that I take on SPY and Qs, I don't feel confident putting risk on the table right now until after market close today. And then we'll see how the market reacts to that information tomorrow morning. That's where I'm really looking at SPY and Qs. AMD broke down, put in some chop, and now is this buying, or are we just retesting this breakdown? All right, we came down and took some liquidity below here. That is a big candle, AMD 128. That is after the massive move of yesterday. Yesterday it pulled back, and then this area here is yesterday's high, pre-market high, and PDC. So there is a lot of possible resistance over here. NVIDIA making new highs. Right? A lot of FOMO there. A lot of people think that this might go crazy with earnings tonight. Okay, there you go. Stretch it out a little bit so that we can see. Qs is making some nice new highs here. Funny that SPY is not joining in. What are the futures doing? Tarek, what are you?
I'm looking for a short on the NASDAQ now, just for a pullback. If it gives like a double top or something,
Yeah.
the move is, there's no pullbacks in this move.
Yeah, on the 30-minute time frame, this just shot up. That is a big green candle on NQ.
Yeah.
Possible level of resistance up here. All right, let's draw a rectangle here. So I'm going to go from the top of this candle to the top of this. Right around, actually, I like this area right here because there's more touches, right? It's touching.
Yeah, the 360 level is 25,360 is a level of resistance. I have it on my charts. Let's see if buyers are willing to let go a little bit for a pullback till 266, 270.
Yeah, that's a strong move.
And looking at the 5 minutes, it didn't give a break. We're getting a negative delta now on this candle. I'm in a short in it. I will take half of my position off 25,300.
That's the thing with futures. You don't need massive moves depending on your size, right? You don't need to have it go to low of day, right? Sometimes just a pullback is all some people might need. On the 5-minute time frame, depending where this candle closes, this is a trendy kangaroo tail possibility.
Yeah.
Right, there's a pullback, and then if it closes near the top here, then I would consider this a trendy kangaroo. Still 2 minutes left in this candle. Not actually the same time frame. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm out of it.
There you go. Yeah, it's hard to go short on these, large green candles. Again, if it closes near the top here, this is a possible trendy kangaroo that it can go higher, and there's room higher because this is where we said that higher time frame liquidity sat, right around this area. R6 is a strong, can be, I gotta be careful with my words. R6 can be a strong level of resistance. As far as the cam pivots are concerned, in between R6 and R4 can often be a chop zone. So remove this line and we'll see what happens here. Let's NQ. What's gold doing? Just chopping around. Crude's breaking down. Right, it's coming through this level of possible support here. I'd be curious to know what it does at S4 here on crude. And crude is something you have to have stops. That's as far as I'm concerned, because anything can happen. And it can happen very, very quickly as far as news is concerned, as far as global tensions are concerned. But I put stops on everything. So the move in NQ seems to be mirrored in Qs. Let's go back to it. So there's NQ. So the 5-minute candle, it's not a perfect 5-minute trendy kangaroo, but it is a pullback, closed near the top here. Had it closed right at the top and then made a new high, this is a big signal for continuation. However, there's already been quite the move. So do I expect another massive green candle like this? Not necessarily. So the first half hour has been put in. That Amazon, if it rejects this level again, let's go put a level here. Let's go full screen. So is it a double top? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it came from a lower area, put in a top, pulled back, is putting in now a second top, but it's just blowing past. So the only way I would take this is if this candle was not so massively green, is if we just punched up, took liquidity, and then closed lower, closed below this level. That's the only way I would look at this. But right now it seems very, very strong. But we know that there are a lot of stops over here. A lot of people saw this candle and shorted right here. Right, shorted right on the low here, aiming for PDC. So we know that the market makers know that there are a lot of stops up here. So is that what we just did? Did we just take out all those stops and now we're going to pull back and there are no more buyers? Possibly. So that's where I zoom in to the 1 minute, and I want to see what price action does. Right, on the 1 minute, it hasn't closed yet, but that was a big 1 minute bullish candle. There you go. We got a little bit of a red candle. Just to show you what I'm looking at on Amazon. All right, we punched up. So that would be the second top. Now, do we start selling? Do we start realizing that there's no buyers up here? That's what I'm looking at. NQ, I'm going to set an alert just below 25,400. There you go. I want to see what it does at that level. Amazon expiry tomorrow, the 212.50. Wow, very low volume. Higher volume on the 210s. I'm looking, I've got the 210 puts on my screen as well. Just to see what the options market is doing on Amazon. And what happens? Okay, so that 5-minute candle on Amazon printed and then did not close near the top. Sorry, near the bottom. which is what I would have liked to have seen. On a smaller time frame, it looks like it's pulled back and did like a micro break and retest. I'm not seeing much. As far as the break and retest formations, candle formations, this looks like a decent one. If it comes and right, it broke out, pulling back slowly, it could hit that level and possibly break out again to get the buyers that were missed when this broke out. Maybe. On a choppy mess on SPY, could be rejecting below 690.60.
Below alert.
There you go. That's my alert on it. Making new lows. Back to Amazon. The double top here might work. It's not according to my rules. If it comes back to 211.17 though, and then starts selling off, I might look at it. Because of what I said, there was obviously some stops right above here, and I don't think we found buyers. Actually, I'm not going to look at it with 47% RVOL. NVDA seems to be rejecting the highs here. NVIDIA is at 123% RVOL. It is at R4, which is a possible area of rejection. There's tons of room to the left. We got to go quite a ways before, what was it? November, end of November of last year. Last earnings, actually, is the last time we were at this level. Putting an NVIDIA puts on my screen, expiring Friday. 197.50 are in the money. Or not a lot of volume. 195. 195 has a little bit more volume. I'm looking at the candle formation here. That is a kangaroo tail. It's hard to tell on this, on DOS here. But below the low of that candle, there it is. It's closing low. When are we making new lows? Is there selling? below 196. I like the book on NVIDIA. There's a lot of selling, but there's definitely a lot of support. So for a small move, it might be. We lose 196. Yeah, we're losing it. So and then we're buying again. Thinking about the short on NVIDIA. There you go. I'm in short on NVIDIA. Just aiming for 195 area. We're just above 195. So that we can see the candle a little bit better. So there you go. And that was my entry candle or my signal. It wasn't the entry, but this was a kangaroo tail here. The body is within the previous candle. It wicked up. The wick is 2/3 of the candle. Entry for me was on the 1 minute time frame. When I saw my signal, I went in short. My stop is a little bit more aggressive. It's just above the wick of my entry candle, which was 196.25. 3R would be 195.25. My target right now is 195. But I might move it to 195.25. Yeah, because that is an area that would be 3R. So I'm going to pay attention, see what it looks like. At this point, if we break 50, then I'm going to bring my stop back to break even. The low was 56. The low of this was 54. we lose 50? We're losing it. Do we drop?
Yeah, the market is pulling back, I think. So
Yeah.
I'm short also the Nasdaq. I re-entered it after it rejected the 25,360.
Yeah, it put in on the 5-minute. I'll show you here. On the 5-minute, the only thing I don't like is that it's not necessarily at a level that I had marked out, but that is my classic entry right there, the kangaroo tail. The tail is 2/3 of the candle. The body is within the previous candle's range. We close near the bottom and we make a quick new low. And zoom in on the one. Actually, I need to put a marker here. So let's go short right there. And stop there, aiming for 3. This is good RVR right here. It's above another possible area of support. And if we zoom into the one, here you go on the one. It formed a 1-minute fair value gap. There it is. It came and retested it right here. So personally, my entry would have been around here. Conservative stop above the high and aim for 3. And there's 3. So I'll leave that there and see if it works. Actually, I'm not sure if these work as far as the contract sizes, right? I haven't tried that on TradingView.
Yeah, it works as contract sizes. I use it. I use this tool.
Thanks for confirming.
But I'm just looking to 225 to 75, and I'll be just like for a pullback.
So I'm
Below alert.
I'm at 3R on my NVDA trade. So I just took 80% off and then put my stop at break even. So that's also part of my rules. And they're not that complicated. If the move happens fast, and this is pretty fast, instead of taking the entire position off at 3R, I'll take 80% off. And this is an obvious level of possible support. We had dipped down here. And then I leave my stop at break even.
That's a nice trade.
Yeah. So I don't know why my triangles don't show up there. I need to I need to resave my platform, my desktop, to show the triangles. So anyway, that was my entry. That was 3R, but I didn't take the full position off. I did not take 3R here. I took 80%. So whatever that is, you can calculate it. I mean, some people might put their remaining position just on a new high here, but with back testing as much as I've back tested, you know what? Oftentimes you're better leaving it just at break even and then aiming for the larger move. Right. So now it's no longer a trailing. What I had, as soon as I enter, I have a range order. So my stop was at 25, just above the wick, right there, 26, I think, actually. And then 3R was $1 lower over here because it was 25-cent risk. So 75-cent lower, I should say. So 3R was 75 cents lower. And now my stop is at break even, 196. Right? But if it decides to really see this as resistance now and flush down lower, then I've got 25 or 20% of my trade still short. And I'll manage. I'll see how much if it's worth managing. Sometimes I'll put a trailing stop on it I'll see what the size of the candle is. Right, so this candle right here, 15 to 73, about what, 55 cents, let's say, so 60 cents. I could trail at 60 cents. So once it makes a new low, that low is locked in, and if it goes up more than 60 cents, then it takes me out. So depending on the trade and the day of the week, sometimes I'll trail like that. And 8 more minutes and I'm going to log off. So if anybody has questions or something you want to share, please don't hesitate. How's that short in NQ?
Yeah, it's doing well. I'm almost out of my position. I just have one runner. One contract, I'm leaving it. I don't like the last 1 minute candle.
Yeah, these candles here are showing possible support. Again, this is the 1 minute time frame. This is the 1 minute fair value gap. Right? These fair value gaps are looked at by a lot of people. So, you know, is that why we just wicked into it and we're buying off of it? Maybe. Right? So I'm going to leave this on here and then we can look at it tomorrow, see if it would have worked. That was my 5 minute kangaroo tail on NQ. We'll see. You know, that's, you can call it back testing, forward testing. That's, I like doing that. I follow my rules and put it on a theoretical trade because I'm not trading futures right now. I am getting back into it. I am building tools and charts and stuff to get back into it. But right now I'm happy with what I'm doing.
But thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, hey, no problem. That's yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your comment, Tarek. I've been a teacher a very long time, so I say it almost every day when somebody says something about me teaching. I enjoy it. That's I can be doing this at home alone and you know and just looking at charts and talking to nobody, but I much prefer to be sharing and talking and you know and looking at charts with others and sharing knowledge. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and anyway, all that to say that I enjoy doing what I'm doing. And thank you, Avi, for the opportunity of giving me the open here on his platform. And if anybody's made it this far in the YouTube video, click on the description and there's Avi's information on there on how to join this community. I'll just share a little something else here on NVIDIA. That was my entry on the kangaroo tail candle right here. I went short. My entry was on the 1 minute, which I can share tomorrow because there's only 5 minutes left. So this was when I was at 3R, I took 80% of the position off. I could have taken the full 3R here, but when it happens quickly, I prefer to take 80%. My stop is back to break even. So back over here. So if I'm stopped out here, I did not make 3R and that's okay. It's a green trade. What I wanted to share is if we wick up here and put in another kangaroo tail, then I could add into this position. The only way I would add is I would calculate to make sure that I can add and then move my stop to break even. So as soon as I would add, I would use basically the unrealized gains and add into the position short. And then if I add, I'm going to either leave it at 1R minus 1R, but right now I'm already green. So I'd rather leave it at break even. So if it were to wick up here, take out the stops that are here and then close red and make new lows, I could add, and then I would bring my stop back probably just above the wick, and it would still be at break even. So it just gives me the potential of making this 2-hour trade into a 5, 6, 7-hour trade. So there you go. That's how I'm managing this. Possible double top on Microsoft, but it seems to be making a new high here, 399.11 and 399.16. If it punches up, right, and then rejects, this is a possible area for a double top. However, Microsoft is at in between R3 and R4, which I don't like, and RVOL is pretty good at 95%. And there you go. I'll share an image of this trade. It might just have a green candle right at 196 here. Or it might have a red candle lower and then a green candle for covering a little bit lower down here later on. We'll see. But for now, it's de-risked. It seems to be buying. My stop is at 196.02. There was a lot of orders right near 96. Let's go back to NVIDIA. 196. There is a lot of orders here. So we might come in and get that. I'll stay on and see what happens. There you go. We punched up to 196. I was not taken out. My stop's at 196.02. It does look like 196 is going to break. But if it doesn't, that's a pretty lucky stop. Well, one, come on, there you go. So I'm stopped out at break even here. So a little bit of a move here. This is at a point where you go, you know, maybe I should have taken just a 3R, take the full 3R and walk away. Yep, it would have worked. But when it happens quickly, it often continues. So why not take 80% and leave the rest at break even? So it's a green trade. Anyway, that being said, it's 10:30. Thanks again for Tarek for chatting, and again, thanks Avi for the opportunity. I'm enjoying this. There you go, and there's the alarm. Okay, so have a great day, everyone, and I'll be here again tomorrow morning. All right, cheers.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, have a good one, Tarek.
Thank you.
Cheers. Have a good day, everyone.